Hello and welcome to this Getting Started guide for using MIC reading lists. In this session we're going to look at how to link your reading list to your reading list from your Moodle site, how to create and set up your list, also how to add items into your list, and then finally how to publish your list to your students. So to get started, you will have already contacted the library and expressed interest in using MIC reading lists, and we will have linked your course to the software on the library side of the system. So the next stage then for you to do is just to link from Moodle into the reading list software. So to do that, from your Moodle page, you just open it up for editing. You click on add an activity or resource. So the best place really to put the link is up at the top of the page where students can see it. So I'll click on add an activity. You'll choose external tool, add, and then you can call the list whatever you like. We do recommend calling it MIC reading lists, just so it's uniform across all sites for students. From the pre-configure tool drop-down menu, you'll see your reading list options. So if you choose that one, and it pre-populates all the other fields for you. So all you have to do then is save and return to your course. And you'll see then that this creates the link to your reading list. So students will click on that, and you'll also click on that, and you won't need any username and password to get in because you're already logged in through Moodle. So I'm just going to click on the link. So you'll be prompted then to create the list. So click on create. You can add a description now, or you can add the description later. You can also change the title if you like. I'll just click on create, and then you can choose a template. So I think most people will end up with a 12-week course template, but you have a 2-tier and 3-tier template, which is just a primary, secondary, and tertiary structure. Or you can just create it blank and add in the sections yourself, and you get to call them then whatever you want to call them. For now, I'm just going to choose the 12-week course. So that will generate the list for you. The 12 weeks are already input for you. And all you need to do then is to set up the list the way you want it to work for you. So the first thing to do really is to establish the dates that you want the list to be available to students from. So to do that, I click on my options button and I click on edit. So I'll put in today's date. Now, if you choose a date in the future, so if I were to choose next week, I wouldn't be able to preview what the list looks like to students. I need the list to be open and available to students for me to preview it. So while you're setting it up, it's a good idea just to put in today's date on the list, but you can also always come back and change it then if you want to close it off to students once you publish it. So I'm also going to put in the end of the academic year, but obviously if you only want the list to be available to students for a shorter period, you can choose a different date. So I'll click on save now that my dates are set up. And then the other thing you might want to deactivate is you have this student discussion. So your students can leave comments for you in here. So when you log into Legante, you can see comments from students, and you can also comment and leave notes for the library. But the student one, you might not want the students to be able to use that. The students don't have access to the library one. It's only the instructor that has access to the library comment section. But you may not want the students to communicate with you via MIC reading lists, preferring maybe to just have them using Moodle. So if you do want to deactivate the student discussion, if you click on the options button, you have configure student list discussion, and then you can hide that from the students so that they won't be able to contact you through MIC reading lists. So I'll deactivate it on my one for now, and that's that deactivated. So that's just the very basics of creating and setting up the list, just setting up your dates and then turning on or off your student discussion. At this point then, you can go ahead and start adding items into your list. So you can add books, ebooks, journal articles, or PDFs. So I'll demonstrate how to do some of these now. So if you click on the add items link, you can search the catalogue. You can also search a collection. So there are, some advanced features on the reading list software where you can save any of items into a collection so that you can more easily access them and transfer them into other lists that you're using as well. But for now, we'll just add a few basic items into our list. So I'll click on library search. Defaults to summon, so that's the library search engine, so you can leave it at summon. I'll search for a book that I know is in the library, so Information Literacy 2.0. I'll click on search, and then I'll filter by book. Okay, and there is an advanced search option as well if you want to search by ISBN or author as well. But here's the book I'm looking for, so I'll click onto the book, and then you can choose the week that you want to add it to. So I'll choose week 1 and then add. So that populates all the information into your list for you. So what the student will experience then is they'll see the book for week 1. If they click into the book, they'll see they can request it. They'll see the loan policy, so how long they can have it for, and they'll see that the item is in place or out on loan. So instead of needing to copy paste from a Moodle list into the library search engine and then find the book themselves, it's all automatically done for them. So if I then want to find maybe some ebooks, so I'll just do an author, search for an author. And again, I'll filter by book. Okay, so that's a little bit slow to filter, but so we'll filter by book. So you'll see the tags for books and ebooks. So I'll choose this first one here. Again, I'll add it into week 1 just by clicking add. And again, with the ebooks, the students can just click the view online, and it will bring them straight through to the homepage of the ebook. If they click into the ebook, you can see as well with all of these items you can add notes in. So a public note is for the students, a private note then is for yourself or the other instructors on the course. So you can add in a public note if you want. So that could be, read chapter 1 to 3, and you can save it then, so students will be able to see the notes when they go into the items. So that's ebooks added in. We can also close this filter, and we can add journal articles as well. So again, I'll just choose this second one. We'll add it into week 1 again. And again, you can add notes if you want, but they can also click directly through to the full text of that article. So again, you don't need to download and upload PDFs. You can just encourage the students to go directly through to the journals and the database pages where they can read full text. And hopefully this will encourage them then when they're doing assignments to be more comfortable with going in and searching some of these online resources that are available to them. So we do think Leganto has a positive effect on information literacy skills as well for students. For now, I'll go back to the reading list. So I'll close down that one. I don't think I have PDFs on this computer, but if you click on add items, you have the file upload option, and that just works the same way as adding a book. You just drag your file in here, you choose the week that you want to add it into, and then click on add, and then the PDF will be directly downloadable to the students as well. So you can upload PDFs or Word documents into the reading list software. So once you have all of your list fully populated, you can then go ahead and either submit the list to review for the library, or you can publish it directly to your students. So the benefit of submitting it to the library for review is that we will then go and check all of the links in the list. We'll make sure everything is accessible. If there's physical books on the list, we can actually check how many copies of the book we have, and we can go ahead and try to order more copies if we feel that we need more copies for that number of students. So that's the idea. So you'd submit it to the library for review by just clicking on the library review link, and you'll see that it gets sent to us. A notification will pop up on our side of the system, and this has changed now from being prepared to ready for processing. And once we have completed checking everything on your list, this will be marked as complete, and we'll send you a message just letting you know that the list is ready to be published. So to publish it then, it's very simple. So you'll just click on the publish button. If you publish to anyone, it just means people from outside of the institution can access it. You'd still have to provide them with a direct URL to the list, but they could potentially view it if they're outside of the university or the college. So I typically recommend choosing course students only. And it just means only the students who are registered on your Moodle site will have access to the list. So you can confirm that, and we'll see then the list was published, and up here at the top left hand side screen we can see the green published text. So other features then, so that's just the basics of what you need to get started from setting up the list to publishing it to your students. But there are other features that you might want to pay attention to as well. So you can export lists into various formats, including RIS formats, which are important for referencing software. So you could potentially either import items into your list from EndNote, or you could export them out to EndNote as well. Students also have the option to print the list. If you want to see what the list looks like to students, you can click on view the list as a student as well. So that's, again, if you have the date set up, that option will work for you. If the date is set up as to open in the future, your student will just see that the list isn't available yet, and that's all you'll see if you view it as a student. So it's just important, if you do want to be able to see the list as a student, that you open it up from today's date, and then when you're finished creating your list, you change it at the end. So that's basically what your students will see when they click into it. You can also set up each week separately. So if you only want to open up week 1 during week 1, you can configure the dates individually on each section by just editing the section. So there's an options button beside each section. You click on edit, and then you can add in the dates as well to open and close each week to students as you need to. And then if you only want the student to navigate from Moodle directly to that specific week, and you might want to do that if you have a very long list, you can also create a shareable link. So you just copy the link to the clipboard, and then from your Moodle site, you just add an activity. In this case, you choose the URL option, you click on add, and then you copy paste the URL in and just save it. So then you'll have this direct link into week 12 of the reading list. So if I open that as a new tab, you'll see it just goes down. Okay, so well, it won't go down now because I don't have anything into week 12, but it will link directly down to your week 12 as well. So the other thing then that's important to look at is you will have reports available to you. So obviously this is a new list, nobody has accessed it yet, so you will be able to access reports on these lists as well. Okay, so if you click on this, if there's information in there, it will show you the usage information for each item, so you can just see which of the items students are actually accessing the most, and you can get reports about student usage on your list from the reports tab. So that's just a quick overview then of everything you need to know. If there's any of these other advanced features here, any of the other links in the configurations or in the options that you do want to know more about, please do get in touch with us, and we're happy to answer your questions. So we're available at MIC Reading List at mic.ul.ie. So again, I hope you enjoy using the software, but please do get back in touch with us if you have any questions.